What's up, guys? Welcome to Inside the 20. We've got a couple things on the plate today, but most first and foremost, do a draft recap because Ryan and I had not even one pick that was right. Not one.
That's not true. That's not true. I had the 4th pick right.
Anyway, so let's go ahead and I don't care.
No one cares.
Anyway, regardless of if we got it right or not, it was a crazy draft. I mean, we kind of knew that coming in just because of just the uncertainty and mystery that was just shrouded in the draft, and it lived up to the hype. I mean, last year we knew a lot of the first picks and whatever, and it was just taking a long time, so it was kind of boring to start. But this year it was like, will Trayvon Walker actually go first? And he did. And Ryan about how to fit. I don't know if y'all watched our live, which if you didn't, you should go ahead and go watch it, because it was pretty fun. But Ryan had a fit, and it was funny, and Trayvon Walker went first overall. And today, in fact, May 3rd, this episode will obviously go out on May 5th, but May 3rd, Trayvon Walker did sign his contract with the Jaguars, $38 million for 4 years. Every penny is fully guaranteed.
Oh, I thought it was more
That
than
is
that.
ridiculous. How do you feel about that, Ryan being Trayvon Walker's biggest hater on planet Earth? How do you
I'm
feel
praying
about
on
his
his downfall.
fully guaranteed 4-year contract? For
That's
whatever reason, Ryan hates
ridiculous,
Jaguars.
dude.
Ryan hates Jaguars first overall picks. He also hates Trevor Lawrence.
Listen.
Oh, I forgot to mention, drinking my G Fuel. If you haven't had G Fuel, go get you some. It's really good. We're not sponsored, but we will
Sell
probably
out.
be in it.
Sell out.
G Fuel is
Hey,
really
no,
good. Go
we're
ahead
not
and try it.
sponsored yet. We're not sponsored yet. One day.
That
Sorry, I'm
tastes,
eating my apple.
tastes good,
Right.
Ethan.
It's good.
Yes, it does. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna be periodically eating this, but go on.
All right. I'm talking about Trayvon Walker.
You are talking about Trevor Walker. Why did he get, how do you feel about this contract that he got?
It's
Fully guaranteed.
ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Okay, we need a little more.
He quite literally went from a 2nd overall pick to the number 1 pick in a matter of like a week, and now he's getting paid a ridiculous amount of money to do probably the same as anyone else in the draft class could.
That is a little bit. I'm gonna challenge you on that one. Trayvon Walker, let's be honest, was a first-round pick all along. He was a first-round pick all along. Whether or not he was on your radar is a different story, but he was a first-round pick. He just worked his way up to the first overall pick. Did he warrant a first overall pick? No, he did not. But to say that he's, there are other defensive ends in the later rounds that are better than him, like anyone can do his job, is not true.
There is.
There's not. I mean, you look at guys that you compare, like Boye Mafe, he's just on a different level. Because you think of Trayvon Walker as the raw talent guy, right? And then you look at other guys who are the raw talents, David Ajabo, Boye Mafe. Trayvon Walker's on a different level. He's in a different tier. He's in a higher tier. So to say that, I disagree with. However, I do think that he got a lot of, he got
Unnecessary money.
overhyped a little. He got overhyped and he got a lot of unnecessary money. But he's gonna be good. I don't want you to even. Let's be honest. He may not live up to the number 1 overall pick hype. Like Jadeveon Clowney, for example. He might be a perennial Pro Bowler and a really good player at that. So. Yeah, Trayvon Walker went 1. That is crazy, but good for him. So, who had the best draft out of all the teams? Because there's a few teams that come off the top of my head that, just did a really, really good job. So, what's one team that you just thought, wow, they nailed every pick they had?
I'm gonna have to go with the Jets. They addressed corner with the 4th pick. That's the 1 pick I got right. They went out there and got a stud wide receiver at 10th overall. They got Brees Hall in the 2nd round.
That is a good pick.
They got Jermaine Johnson in the latter end of the 1st round, which
Right.
he's overrated, but still
He's
probably
still a
properly
first-round
rated
talent.
there. Yeah, just not as high as he was projected to go. They also got Jeremy Ruckert, who is a baller, and they filled so many needs on both sides of the ball. Whereas there's a bunch of teams that stayed away from drafting good, if that makes sense. Compared to the Jets.
Oh.
Yeah.
So my team that I thought did really well, and it pains me to say it, the Baltimore Ravens killed the first round and killed the fourth round. I mean, they drafted 2 tight ends, sure, but they're 2 different, very different tight ends at their, at their peak. And on top of that, you get 2 checkdowns for Lamar Jackson in the red zone, where the Ravens are most efficient. Oh, they killed the fourth round, and not only did they kill the fourth round, they also killed the first round. They got Kyle Hamilton without having to move at all, arguably the best player in the draft. And now you have arguably the best young safety duo in the league with Marcus Williams and Kyle Hamilton, and you've now fixed your secondary issue because Marlon Humphrey and Marcus Peters will both be back. So now you have a stud secondary. On top of that, you improve your O-line by getting Tyler Linderbaum by trading back. Sure, you trade Marquise Brown, but you also acquire a third in the process. I mean, they just could not have done a better job. They got Tyler Linderbaum, who will be a franchise cornerstone at center. And their O-line still struggles a little bit, but they did get some pieces later on that will improve that. Let me go ahead and pull up the Ravens' whole draft because I'm kind of blanking here. They had someone in the second round that they drafted I really liked. Let me hold on. I can't think of it. David Ojabo. That was the one David Ojabo in the middle of the second round. If David Ojabo heals, he could be an All-Pro. I mean, he is just such a stud. And developing opposite Odafe Owe is, I mean, dude, that is going to be such a good defensive line. Got Travis Jones, too, arguably a first-round talent, big guy, and just smack dab in the middle. So they improved their D-line. They improved their offensive line. They improved their secondary. I mean, they basically, other than receiver, which is the one thing I felt like they didn't get, they got Jalen Armour-Davis, a good slot corner. I mean, they really fixed just about everything and got Tyler Beatty, who's going to be a good special teams guy. They had an A+ draft, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Now, who had the most questionable draft? And this is kind of like a consensus. I think you and I are probably thinking the same thing here. Are you thinking Patriots too? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, why take Cole Strange in the first round? There is literally no point in taking him when there is Christian Watson on the board. There is George Pickens on the board. You don't have to reach for a guard in the first round that you could have gotten as your third pick. And Tyquan Thornton in the second round. They reached 2 times in a row. And honestly, the receiver's not even that big of a need with the Devontae Parker now. And they just really, I mean, they really whiffed. I just really think they did a really bad job. Because we've seen consistently that the Patriots just go speed over anything or size over raw talent, right? And we've seen how that worked out for them with N'Keal Harry, with guys like that. So I just think the Patriots, they don't get an F from me because I feel like most teams in this draft, no one got an F necessarily, but a D, a C+.
They also took Bailey Zappi in the fourth round
fourth round, right, over Sam Howell, Carson, right.
And you don't even need a quarterback. You can get a better backup quarterback than him, and you wasted a fourth round pick
in free agency. Yeah, I don't know why they chose to do that. And now Bailey Zappi will unfortunately be a career backup. And that was probably going to be the case all along. I don't want to say that he was ever going to be a stud starter, but because it was high volume, and he did break records, but it was because of his high volume. But yeah, they just reach so much, Ethan. Why? They just reach so much over and over and over, and they do it every year. And I don't know, man. I don't know. They had the most questionable draft by a landslide. It was rough.
Yeah.
Okay, one more thing before we kind of go on to our favorite picks and things like that. Why did the quarterbacks fall so far? And okay, so first let's talk about the Steelers. Do you think Kenny Pickett was the right pick over Malik Willis? There should be a reason that he dropped in the third round, right? And I'll tell
here's the thing.
I want to hear your thoughts on Kenny Pickett over Malik Willis.
There's no way that the Steelers can predict him falling that far, but if they were to go something different in the first round and then still have those guys fall to them, it would have been way better. But I don't know. I think Kenny Pickett, as of right now, would probably be the best pick considering how far Malik fell, which means obviously something's.
Here's my thing on it. At the moment, I was excited. I was like, whatever, a new quarterback. And I like it even more now, to be completely honest with you. If you go back and watch Kenny Pickett's tape, I watched some of his tape today when he played Miami. Did y'all know? Okay, here's the first thing. Did y'all know Miami was number 2 in the nation in 2017?
Which Miami?
The U.
Okay.
Did y'all know that?
No.
Dude, that's crazy. Anyway, Pitt comes out, right? Kenny Pickett's a true freshman, okay? And they beat Miami at home. Like, in Miami. No, it was in Pitt. Sorry. They beat Miami, the number 2 overall team, as a 4-7 team. And Kenny Pickett has a 2-touchdown day as a true freshman. I mean, like, the dude he is so confident. And y'all are terrible, man. Stop. Dude, these dudes like to, fill the chat while I'm talking with just crap. Anyway. Kenny Pickett just has he just has a confidence to him, a swagger that I just love, and the receiving core we built around him, and the non-existent O-line that he's able to deal with better than Ben Roethlisberger was. Kenny Pickett's decently mobile. Like, let's not. I mean, like the narrative that he can't. Malik Willis is significantly more of a rusher. Dude, Kenny Pickett can move. Like, y'all seen that fake slide? He can move. And he's not afraid to take hits. He gives me some Josh Allen vibes. Obviously, he's not as good as Josh Allen, doesn't have the arm. But I like him a lot. I think he fits our scheme as well. I just think he fits perfectly into this offense. And I honestly think he's going to start day one. That's my opinion. Malik Willis, the thing about him is he would have to sit for a year because there's no way you can plug him in and start him day one. There's just no way. He would, have 20 turnovers. and who's he going to learn behind? Mitch Trubisky?
Yes.
Right, like, Mitch Trubisky, who has the same things that Malik needs to learn not to do, right? So, I just think it was ultimately the better decision to take Pickett over Willis. Now, Willis should have gone to the Seahawks in the second round, I will say. But, that's a different story. The reason I think that the quarterbacks fell so much is that we heard all along that the quarterbacks were not as touted as we thought, and we continued to mock them in the first round. However, we were continually told that teams didn't value quarterbacks this year, and that was right. Kenny Pickett definitely is better than all of the. I think he was the best quarterback in the draft, and I said that even pre-draft. No, in no way did I think he would be available at our pick, but just the fact that Carson Strong went undrafted. Sam Howell in the 5th round. Matt Corral went in the 3rd round. Is just unbelievable. Ritter went in the 3rd round. Ritter went before Willis? Like, what in the world? Like, I can't. Why do you think that happened? Like, I don't know why. What's your opinion? Like, why do you think that happened?
I mean, I guess there's just no way to tell, like, what a team's draft board looks like until after the draft. So you never really know who values who higher than who. That makes, I guess.
That's like the most simple answer you could have given me.
Yeah.
But like, why do you think teams didn't value them higher than others? Y'all stop saying crap in the chat.
Dude, I'm not. I swear.
You just said something.
No, that was the last one. That was the last one.
Okay, honest answer, Ryan. Other than teams value quarterbacks. We don't know what their board looks like, obviously. But like, why weren't they? Like, is it just teams don't feel like they need one? Is the talent gap between this year's quarterbacks and next year so big? But Malik Willis has a lot of talent. I don't get it. I understand why the Titans went that route though. Like, Tannehill is just not their guy. unfortunately, and he didn't take it very well, from my understanding.
Yeah.
So, just weird that the quarterbacks fell that far. I just was not expecting it. It was out of left field. I thought they would at least go in the the top of the second. I thought Malik would start trickling at Seahawks pick. I thought they'd either go with what's his name, Ritter or Willis. But no, they slid to the 70s. I mean, 74 was the second quarterback taken. So, just wild. Now let me ask you, in your opinion, what was the best day one pick? We watched the draft. We were like, wow, that was a good pick. But what was the best one in the first round? What was the best pick in your opinion?
I love Aiden Hutchinson. Hometown guy, goes home. That makes no sense. He gets to stay in Michigan.
I get where you're going.
Yeah.
I get where you're
And he's gonna absolutely ball out under. Yeah.
Dan Campbell. Yep.
Forgot it. Yeah. Dan
Dude,
Campbell.
what's up with you today? You're like not engaged at all.
I'm very tired.
Okay. Well, in my opinion, the best day one pick was probably Kyle Hamilton. And I know I said that before, but Kyle Hamilton, just the fact that he fell to 14 and he's the best player, in my opinion, in the draft, second best player, is just ridiculous. And I mean, the amount of ammo that the Ravens just put in their secondary is just, I mean, I'm worried. But Pickens, young boy Pickens, that is the funniest thing ever.
He's gonna be in prison, bro.
He's either going to be in prison or he's going to be the best receiver in the league. No in between. There's really no in between. Day two. There were some good picks day two. Some really good picks. Who's your favorite?
Give me a second.
He's got to look at the day two pick.
Yeah.
He's got to look at you in day two.
Sorry. I liked the Jabo in the second round, and I also
I did too.
liked.
That's what I'm saying. I think the Ravens had the best draft in my opinion.
Bro, I'm tripping. My computer's broken.
I think like not even to be since you're taking a while, not even be
Here we
Homer.
go. Biased.
Not even
biased.
biased. I just think George Pickens was the best pick in the second round.
You're
George
biased.
Pickens was a first round pick if he wasn't injured. And he came back and he still was just ending people's lives. Like, did y'all see what he did against that dude against Michigan? Daxton Hill, a first round pick. He mowed him over. And then did this, and it was so cold. Anyway, I think that was the best value pick for the Steelers.
Broken.
It's a perfect replacement for Juju Smith-Schuster, who, because people don't understand, because they think he dances too much, Juju Smith-Schuster is a very talented physical receiver. George Pickens is an upgrade, if not just a replacement, for Juju. Then on top of that, Calvin Austin is probably, one of the best value picks for day three. He's going to replace
so
Washington.
biased.
Be perfect. That's not my day three pick, though. I'm just saying it's a good pick. I didn't even get to my best day three pick because you haven't said your best day two pick.
Bro, my computer is broken.
Use your phone.
I'm recording on my phone.
This over before we
Brain not working? Clearly.
should have thought this over before you did this. Obviously, the best day three pick is Matt Araiza.
Absolutely.
Punt God, should have gone in the fourth round. The worst day two pick. I'll tell you what the worst day three pick is. The LSU kicker in the fourth round.
They got their guy. Hopefully, maybe not. Probably not.
No, they did not. I think my favorite because you're taking forever. My favorite day three pick is Sam Howell round.
I like Matt Corral in the third round for day two.
I think my favorite day three pick is Sam Howell in the fifth round. I think that he can be Washington's starter. I really do. I really think he can be the Washington starter after Carson Wentz puts himself on the bench. He is just. I mean, we thought about him as a Heisman candidate, and sure, he made some boneheaded mistakes. But he's still like I comp him to Baker Mayfield. Like he is still a running quarterback in the league who can contribute and win games. Kirk Cousins comes to mind as well. I just really think he's going to be a pretty good. And in the fifth round, the amount of like value that brings to the Washington Commanders, like their draft at that point went from a C, in my opinion, to like a B. Like, it just raised it a whole letter grade because they were able to get him in the 5th round. I think that was just a stellar pick. And I think traded up for him. But, I mean, in the 5th round, who cares?
Yeah.
Your favorite day 3 pick? 3.
Bro. D3.
D3.
What's his name? What's his name was D3? Oh, what's his name?
Um,
The guy that the Chiefs took.
Kennard?
He was either D2 or D3. Nah, it was like a day 3 pick.
Kennard went day 3, I think.
Yeah, Kennard did go day 3.
I think my favorate undrafted, because you're again taking a long time. My favorite
Bro,
undrafted player
Justin
was,
Ross, or whatever his name is. Yeah. Shut up.
although he's like the best. He's like the biggest like boomer bust.
Who?
Not because what?
Who?
Justin Ross.
Yeah, he's just.
Because
Got
of
a
his
lot of-
injury concern, but like if he's able to like play and stay alive, really, honestly, then I think he can be.
That's how it is with most of these guys to get drafted anyway.
Yeah, Ethan, how long have we been running for? 20 minutes.
Let's see. 45. No, I'm just playing. We're just now hitting 26.
Okay. Well, then let's go ahead and try to wrap up this segment. Last thing, looking forward to next draft. Just a teaser because we are going to talk about 2023
yeah,
draft
give me a second.
lot. Looking forward to next draft. Who are like your favorite players? Who's going to go first overall? It really
Will
depends on
Anderson.
who gets it. I think Will Anderson. I do think Will Anderson. I think he's the best player in college football.
I think Will Anderson right now is better than Trayvon Walker.
Absolutely, he's better than Aiden Hutchinson. He's the best. If he was, I mean,
What was that?
Will Anderson is one of the best edge rush prospect I've ever seen, and he reminds me of Micah Parsons. That's the vibes he gives me, and the fact Parsons is now in the league, and it gives teams like, oh, we need to get arms, I think he'll go first overall next year, and if Houston Texans indeed have that pick, which they probably will, because they're going to be good.
Who?
Texans.
It's so hurtful.
Anyway, Will Anderson goes first overall. What do you think, quarterback-wise, who's better, Bryce Young or
Bryce
CJ
Young.
Stroud? I think so, too. There's a case for CJ Stroud,
Whoa.
but the fact that he probably has more, I would say he has more to work with, which is interesting considering Alabama is just a powerhouse. CJ has more to work with.
CJ Stroud also has the best wide receiver in the nation. So.
Jackson Smith and Jigba. I like him a lot, too. I also like Jordan Addison, who knows where he'll be next season because he entered the transfer portal today. That's about it for the NFL draft. I know there's a lot to cover, but we did a recap of the NFL draft. If you want to know more our feelings about the draft, go ahead and go over to our live. If you haven't seen it yet, we have a lot of reactions, various reactions. Ryan crying about Trayvon Walker. You haven't seen it yet, go watch it. Next, we're gonna talk about the NBA playoffs a little bit. This episode's a little shorter, just because we've been going along. But NBA playoffs. First of all, the Nets, man, in the world, because I mean,
Disappointment.
dude, like the Nets are just. What is gonna happen to them? Like, are they gonna get broken up next season? I don't think so, but
I don't think so either. No.
right. And then the Jazz, like, the Jazz looked awful. I don't know how we went 6 games with the Jazz, but they looked awful. Like, I think it's more realistic for Mitchell and Gobert to be in new places next season, and the Jazz to can be a lottery team. I don't think they'll be on the squad next season. What do you guys think?
I think the same. There's been a lot of talk on Instagram, and like a lot of these sports pages on Instagram will sometimes post cap. Like sometimes
It's all it
the
is.
things aren't true.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know because this actually seems kind of true because there was this thing that was talking about Gobert was saying it's either him or me. Like it's come to that point where the Jazz are gonna have to choose between.
And I would almost choose your guy who's been defensive player of the year 3 times.
I would choose him too. I honestly would.
I do think that's the case. But, we don't know what's going on in the minds. And it could be realistic to where it's not you or him, it's both. You're both gone, It could be that as well. So we'll just have to see how that works out. Last thing, who do y'all have? First of all, Bucks or Celtics? Who y'all got?
I got Bucks. The the Celtics got overpowered, like a lot.
Bucks and what?
Bucks and 4.
Whoa, what?
Whoa.
Dude, the Bucks absolutely. Oh, dude, that game was fun to watch.
Bro, I got Celtics, honestly.
I've got
I had
Celtics in 7.
Oh.
I would probably say 6 or 7, but I don't know. I wanted to bring it back real quick to the Nets and Ben Simmons. What do y'all think about that? Like,
I don't know, man. I
specifically
think he
Ben
comes back
Simmons.
next season, but it's going to take a lot of time to develop chemistry with a guy who is not easy to develop chemistry with, right?
Yeah, he's been such like, people have been just like roasting him, and Shaq was calling. Wait, why was he out at the end of the playoffs? Was it his back was sore or something?
Yeah, it's sore back.
Which is just so...
It's such a weird, like, how did that happen?
I don't know.
That's my bad.
I don't know. Oh, that's not appropriate for a 20. Okay.
Okay.
Ignore that. Okay, Mavs or Suns? This one's an easy one. Suns and 4.
Absolutely.
We suck.
What?
Realistically, Suns and 6. I don't think the Mavs are gonna. The Mavs will win a game or two at home, but I don't think that their interior defense is just so atrocious, and we need Rudy Gobert to clog the lane next season. As much as I dislike him and his French self.
Wow, racism too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, can we have that in
That's
the?
exactly what I mean by that. Not the fact that he has continually been a
Only hate him because he's French. That is
maybe.
definitely something, Drew.
Okay. Sixers or Heat?
Ooh.
Heat. I'm going Heat.
I'm
bro.
going Heat.
You're biased.
No,
I'm
Embiid.
biased.
There's no way he's that's not like even
Yeah.
because Embiid's out. There's just no stopping Bam Adebayo. I don't even know who the 76ers backup center is.
Yeah, no, his back is sore, so like, how is he supposed to play?
Who is the 76ers backup center? Like, please tell me, because they traded Drummond.
No one knows.
Keyshawn
No
Vaughn.
one knows, dude.
Just kidding.
Keyshawn Vaughn? Is he a football player?
Yeah.
The Buccaneers?
Yeah.
I would have believed you. That's the thing.
DeAndre Jordan.
Oh my god, I forgot
No,
he was
it's
on the
not.
Sixers.
Yes, it is.
He really has-
That's actually terrible.
Who do you have, Ryan?
Oh.
You didn't tell us.
I got the Heat.
Okay, and how many?
I'll just agree with you.
6. Okay, Warriors or
Sorry.
Grizzlies? Last one.
Wait, Warriors or what?
Grizzlies.
Warriors in 5.
I'm going Warriors in 6.
I'll be different. I'll go Grizzlies in 6.
So quirky.
You know what? Wasn't it a 1-point game?
Was.
The last. Yeah. See, I don't know. I think it's gonna be a good series, but
I
yeah,
think the
Golden
Warriors will
State-
win, but I'm gonna be quirky.
Don't say.
Oh.
How do people listen to this podcast, bro?
No one does.
No, we're naming this podcast. Drew got quirky. This podcast. That's the name.
Drew gets quirky.
Drew gets quirky. Oh my gosh.
I'll make
Okay.
another thumbnail that makes you look like a Neanderthal.
That was awful. Okay, last point of talking today. The NHL playoffs, which
Just
y'all
you.
apparently know
Just
nothing
you, by the
about.
way.
It's just me.
I'll mute myself.
No. Y'all, y'all.
I don't know anything about it, but you can ask me who I think's gonna win. I'm going with what's Dallas's name?
The Stars.
I'm going with the Stars.
Y'all are so embarrassing, bro.
No, I knew that. I forgot.
Bro,
Like,
you
it-
sent this
it-
out last night. I don't have time to like.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I sent this last night. What have you been doing at school for 9 hours?
I took a history test today.
Okay, so then
Yes.
what'd you do afterwards? Because I know you
I
finished
actually
before
studied
everyone else.
the entire day for the test, and then I took it 6th period, and then 7th period I was in Paideia. So lots of school.
a ton. I had a lot of time, but I just didn't do it. Even Damien said he wasn't gonna do it.
Y'all are lame. Okay. for
Hockey's
the
fun to
viewers
watch,
that
not
like
fun
hockey-
to follow.
For the viewers that like hockey,
Find another podcast.
here
'cause
are
that's not
my
us.
shut up. Here is
Nope.
my picks. And Ethan, if you'll flash it up on the screen for me, I'll send it
Yeah,
over to you.
boom.
I've got the Avalanche and Panthers, and y'all can see
Oh.
how they got there, but because I don't want to talk about it.
Is this like just the end, right? This
Yeah,
is the
the-
second
my-
round. It's
No,
just the Stanley Cup, right?
Yeah, the Cup. I have
thank
the
you.
Avalanche and Panthers in the final round. And like I said, y'all can see how they got there. I think a lot of the interesting matchups will probably be
Panthers-
the
Panthers,
the Oilers.
Avalanche, Drew.
The Oilers will be a really interesting team. Isn't that what I said?
I don't know.
That's what I said. Panthers and Avalanche.
Oh, did you?
It'll be
well, that's what I
interesting
got
to
too.
The Oilers will be an interesting team to watch. So will the Flames. I think the Flames have a shot. The Maple Leafs, but they always choke. That's like a joke, I think. The Penguins, I like a lot. And the Canes could be really interesting. They could probably pull an upset and make it to the Cup. We'll just have to see.
Such a dumb name.
What?
Hockey teams are just. Oh, dude. Bro, hang on. I'm going off
Okay.
on a little tangent here. Have you ever noticed how ridiculous like minor league baseball teams' names are?
Yeah, it's because they can't do anything like.
Like my favorite one is the Amarillo Sod Ponies or Poodles, the Sod Poodles.
Ponies.
The Sod Ponies.
The Sod
Wait.
Poodles.
Wait, is it sad or sod?
Sod, S-O-D.
Oh, I thought it
Yeah.
was sad.
No,
I thought
look.
you were just saying it like that.
Hang on. It's the Sod Poodles. Ah, you
I
can't see that.
cannot see that.
It's okay.
Your computer's working now?
Something like that.
Oh yeah,
Hey, we should
now
go
it's
see 'em.
working.
They play in Amarillo. Let's go watch the Sod Poodles play.
Yeah, let's do it. Sounds like a great
Please,
idea.
Please, dude. Oh my gosh.
Okay, I think that's all for today, guys. I think that's gonna be all for today.
It's about time.
Y'all, I hope you enjoyed this episode. You probably didn't. This was a stupid episode. Ryan's stupid. But we had a lot of fun with the draft. So like I said, for the fourth time, if you haven't seen our live, please go tune in. And with that, we will see you guys next week. And
Wake up.
Ryan will be dead by then
Wake up.
because I would have killed him. Okay. All right, guys. See you next week. Peace out.
Peace.